Hello, welcome back to Learn Node.js on Codecademy. We're in the Introduction to Node.js section. This is running a program with Node. Node was designed with server-side web development in mind and has a lot of thoughtful functionality towards that end. At its most simple, however, it provides the ability to run JavaScript programs on our own computers instead of just in the browser's console or embedded in HTML. In this lesson, we'll explore some of the functionality and properties specific to the Node environment. But first, let's see how we run a program. We'll need to create a file with a .js extension. We'll call ours myprogram.js. Next, we'll open that file with a text editor and add our code. So we could actually try this out. You should have Node installed. If not, look at the lessons before this for links that will show you how to download and install Node on your local computer. Once you have Node installed, then you need a text editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. We open. I'm going to create a new folder to have this myprogram.js. So I open, create a new folder here, my program. First, we're going to open that new folder, right? So now it's open. So you guys can see a little better. Okay, we're going to create myprogram.js and we want it in the folder myprogram. We create that file. Now we're inside of myprogram.js. It is empty. We're going to paste whatever it tells us on the lesson. So let's go back. We're going to add this code. So the comment inside myprogram.js, and then we're just logging out hello world. Copy. Go back to editor, paste, save. Then we go back. Our code is complete. Now we want to execute it. We'll open our terminal and navigate to the directory that contains myprogram.js. Finally, we'll type the command node myprogram.js into our terminal, like so. So then we go back. They want us to run this in our terminal. You could go to your actual terminal like this, and if you have Node installed, you should be able to do node-v. So I do have Node installed. They want us to go to that directory or folder where we have myprogram.js. Right now, if I list out my directories, I know it's going to be in my program here. So I want to go in there, change directory my program. Now we should be inside of my program. If I list out, I do see myprogram.js. Now I want to run that using node myprogram.js, and we do get hello world. So we were able to execute our code correctly, and when we execute it, we do get out the log of hello world. If you're brand new to using a command line or terminal, then I would suggest learning the basics of how terminal works. It lets you navigate your computer's folder system easily, and learning a few basic commands will allow you to begin mastering your computer. So if you do have Visual Studio Code, you could also run the terminal from there. Once you run the terminal inside of Visual Studio Code, once you open the terminal, you could list out what you have, and then from there you could run that file same way, node myprogram.js, and there it is, it runs. So that's working. Let's go back to our lesson. The result of our program will print to the terminal. Let's write a program and run it in Node. Our instructions say, we've written a silly sentence JavaScript program in the app.js file. There are a number of variables assigned the string underscores in a string. Replace each of them with words of the designated type. Let adjective be assigned silly. When you're ready to move on to the next step, click the check work button. Okay, let's do that real quick. So noun Jose, adjective silly, noun 2 dog, verb E, noun 3 trees. So let's go ahead and check work. So did you run the command? We were supposed to do step 2, which is let's run the program in the terminal so we can see its output. Type node app.js in the terminal and press enter or return, and then press check work. You should see the output of the program in the terminal. We have our code here. They want us to now run it in Node. So we would do node app.js, check work. It says we should see the output of the program in the terminal. So let's press enter And we do see the world's first Jose was a very silly dog who loved to eat while eating trees for every meal. So we were able to call our variables within our console log by interpolation here. And if we use this syntax within our code, then it does allow for us to grab the values and insert it into our program. So we could even see this again by copying all of it and then going back into Visual Studio Code. We could erase that, paste the same program, save it. We should be able to now run node myprogram.js because we didn't change the name of the file, and it should run the program. And there it is, same code, and it works outside of the Codecademy node environment, and we're able to use it on our own local computer the same way. So then we could go back, and that's actually all of the lesson. The important thing that we're learning here is how we could run a node program, and that is once you've created a folder that's going to have your node program, you add your .js file, because a node program is a .js file, and within that .js file you have your node code. And once you have that node code, you could go to your terminal, and as long as you're in that folder or directory that has that file, you could use the node command and then the name of that file you want to execute, and it should execute your node code if you are calling the correct file and it exists and it is a JavaScript file. As long as you're understanding that, you're getting this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.